Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for a special Tu B'Shvat Seder. We have a fun and informative and entertaining program for you tonight. Let's start with explaining the what, who, why of Tu B'Shvat. So, unlike what some may believe, Tu B'Shvat, which is the 15th day of Shevat, isn't some Jewish version of Harbor Day. In fact, Tu B'Shvat doesn't even fall out during the planting season in Israel. If we look at it historically, the first mention of the significance of Tu B'Shvat can be found in the Talmud, which states that there were 4 days that were considered the new year, each for a different purpose. As we know that Nisan, the month of Nisan, is the new year of the festival. Elul was considered a new year for tithe, and Tishrei, of course, is the new year that we celebrate as Rosh Hashanah. The Talmud tells us that the new year of trees, according to the school of Hillel, was the 15th day of Shevat. I've recently got an email after we sent out an invitation for people to celebrate Tu B'Shvat and join us tonight. I got an email, and I'll read you what the email says. He tells me, Rabbi, I just got an email about celebrating the new year of trees in January. I don't know about where you live, but where I live, it's freezing with plenty of snow covering the trees. If you want to celebrate the trees, he tells me, do it in spring. Why now? Right in the middle of the winter.
Hello.
اوكي اسمعي خي يحكي.
ترى من كنت قد احكي وياك قد اقلق معكم، هذا مو الشيء مالي، هذا البورد كانه كمبيوتر.
شو معكم هسه؟
That was a commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Rabbi. Oh, you have to unmute.
Okay, everybody hear me?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Okay, so the answer is, as I mentioned, Tu B'Shvat is not the Jewish version Harbor Day, but it's considered the new year for trees with real implication for Jewish law. Why is this specific day chosen? As in the case with many Torah laws, the halacha is based on what happens in the land of Israel. So since most of Israel's rainy season is over by the 15th of Shevat, this date is considered the new year for trees. Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki is well known as Rashi, explains that at this point the ground has become saturated with the rains of the new year in Israel, causing the sap to start rising in the trees, which means that the fruit can begin to bud. Now, we in Montreal are talking in sub-zero's weather, so we may find the most comfort in the explanation of Rabbi Menachem Meiri, who points out that the winter season extends from the month of Tevet, Jewish month, until the month of Nisan. The 15th of Shevat is therefore the midpoint between fall and spring. Once half of the winter has passed, its strength is weakened, the cold is not as intense, and the budding process begins. So yes, it may be smack in the middle of the winter, but the 15th of Shevat, Tu B'Shvat, marks a turning point, a time where under all the cold and snow, the sap of the trees is rising, ready for spring. In a sense, Tu B'Shvat signifies that sometimes it is precisely from within the darkest and the coldest moments of our lives the new blossom bursts forth. Now, historically, when is the first time? I mean, obviously, Tu B'Shvat is not found in the Torah. It's not biblical, barely rabbinical. And what is the earliest celebration through history? So one of the earliest sources for celebrating Tu B'Shvat is found in the Cairo Geniza. It's a trove of old Torah texts, documents, and manuscript discovered in the 19th century. The poem composed by Rabbi Yehuda ben Hillel HaLevi around the 10th century were meant to be added in the prayer service for Tu B'Shvat. There is also, of course, the custom that we'll get to in a few minutes, the custom of to eat fruits on this day. The first mention of this custom is found by a Rabbi Issachar ben Mordechai ibn Susan, a sage, a Sephardic sage from the 16th century, which wrote a book called Tikkun Issachar. This custom was popularized by Kabbalistic and substantially cited in many halachic works. So that was for the fruits and historical point of view. Now, there is also a dimension of eating certain fruits on Tu B'Shvat, which we find in scripture, and describing the extraordinary beauty and uniqueness of the land of Israel. Scripture tells us, for the Lord your God is bringing you to a good land, a land with brooks of water, a land of wheat and barley, grape, vines and figs and pomegranate, a land of oil producing olives and honey, which is the actual dates. Now, what is the significance about these 7 species? The commentaries offer several explanations. On a basic level, these fruits are unique in that they provide the necessary nutrients for sustenance. Some commentaries add that the land of Israel is the only place in the world all these very diverse species naturally grow in close proximity. Expounding on a deeper meaning behind this custom, the sages say that unlike wheat, which is considered a staple, fruits are often eaten purely for pleasure. The Torah is at times compared to bread and water, necessities, and at other times to wine, olive oil, and date honey, foods for pleasure. So we find this idea of parallel between the Torah and these 7 species. I would like to address one last question before we give the floor to Hazan to share with us a beautiful story. Question, are Jews obsessed with food? I mean, if you run a search on food and Jewish culture on Google, and you'll get about 2 million, I actually searched that, 2,380,000 results, including one which starts with the observation that Jewish culture is often associated in popular imagination with food. For that matter, Jewish culture is often associated in the Jewish imagination with food as our spiritual beliefs and practices. It's almost impossible and very difficult to even think about a Jewish holiday, any Jewish holiday, including this one, Tu B'Shvat, without thinking about what you eat that day or what you aren't allowed to eat that day. Like Pesach, for example, eating chametz. So where does this obsession come from? Well, actually, there are some deep spiritual roots to the Jewish obsession with food. What, how, and when it should be consumed. If we would venture to go all the way back for the time of creation, at the time of Garden of Eden, when the first man and woman were created, Adam and Eve, Adam and Eve are giving 2 explicit commandments: to eat from all the trees of the garden and not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Yet, they ate from it. So the first sin committed in the world was a sin of improper eating. It was through this sin that evil inclination became part of each of us, as the sages explain, challenging us to this day with obstacles to our spiritual growth. So on Tu B'Shvat, we have a unique opportunity to fix all of that. And although this striving to rectify eating is a practice and awareness that we should bring to every meal, Tu B'Shvat is especially a proper time, opportunity to work on eating in that right way and with the right mindset and awareness. On Tu B'Shvat, our sages tell us we have a special opportunity to rectify not only the sin of Adam and Eve, we also have an extra tool to rectify our relationship with food that Adam and Eve did not have. A tool available year-round. What is that? Even Adam and Eve didn't have it in the Garden of Eden. The blessings we recite over food, both before and after eating, which serve to anchor our every meal and snack in an awareness of God. Ideally, and we'll see when Hazan Benlolo will give us a moment of meditation as we'll recite the blessing on some of the fruits. Ideally, the moments of our chewing, tasting, enjoying, and swallowing the fruits, we should close our eyes and give genuine thanks to the Creator of the world. As if we were transported back to Garden of Eden and are given the opportunity to revisit the fateful event. At this time, to do it right. It's a therapeutical process, an opportunity for deep soul fixing, but this time by fulfilling the commandments which bring a powerful healing to that first root of all sin, which is also the roots of diseases and imbalances in the universe, and give ourselves the opportunity to partake and enjoy the pleasures of this world without being consumed by them. So without further delay, I will ask Hazan Benlolo, Danny, to share with us a beautiful, inspirational story on the screen right now. Hazan Benlolo, please.
Yes. How are you, my dear friend? Thank you so much. First of all, by the way, it was really, really, really interesting and amazing to share these words with you, Rabbi. Right now, I am going to try to see if the giving tree right there. So I'm going to share with you, my dear friends, a very different perspective. And the perspective here is going to be about the importance of what Tu B'Shvat is all about. And Tu B'Shvat is about trees and how the trees give us and sustain us and help us throughout generations. And you know what, there's also a halacha, a law, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Rabbi, that there's a law that even in wartime, if you come and destroy a people, but you cannot destroy the trees, you got to leave the trees because it's a sustenance. It's a way to sustain people and to give fruits not only for this generation, but for the generations to come. So when I was a kid, I read this beautiful, beautiful story. And this beautiful story was about the giving tree. And I don't know if some of you know it or have heard it before, but let me share it with you, with your families, and to see how beautiful and the importance of trees and giving fruit. And here it goes. Tell me if you can still see it. I'm gonna just share. I'm gonna share my screen, and I am going to share. And here it is over here. And here we go. So I'm admitting at the same time. So I'm multitasking. So here is the story of the giving tree. And can everybody hear me? Rabbi, can you hear me too?
Yes.
Perfect. Here it goes. The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Oh,
you're on the
wrong. Sorry, wrong button. Here we go. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. Can anybody else hear me besides Rabbi?
No. Only the Rabbi.
I'm sorry?
I don't know if anybody else can hear me.
I hear you for sure.
Yeah. Mark, did you say? Hold on 1 second.
Danny.
Yes, sir.
Something, maybe you start from the top.
Yeah, I'm going to start from the top, but I want to make sure we hear you now. Oh, okay. Now we can hear me.
Okay, great.
Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to press share and I'm going to go back. If you don't mind, I hope you don't mind if I go back. Here we go. The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. And it goes like this. Once there was a tree and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches. And eat apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much. And the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older, and the tree was often alone. Then one day, the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat my apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples, and take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city, and then you will have money and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away, and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day, the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I am too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm." And he said, "I want a wife and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house. But you may cut off my branches and build a house, then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house, and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy he could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I am too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," she said. "Then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. After a long time, the boy came back again. "I am so sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." So the boy said, "My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I am too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," and the tree said the tree, "and you cannot climb." "I am too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am so sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as she could, "well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest." And the tree was happy. It's a story about a simple tree and a simple man, but together they knew the difference and the importance of each other. And that's what we're celebrating today, the anniversary of the tree and the importance of the trees. Rabbi.
Great. Thank you so much, Danny. Thank you for sharing with us. Beautiful story, very inspiring. Danny, why don't you take us now to everybody pull out their Seder plate. If you have your fruits in front of you, we'll start with the Seder plate. Danny will carry us through the brachot. I'll share the screen so
yes, share the screen so we can see it together.
Yeah, we could see it together. And following every bracha, Danny will share with us also a very short inspiration, a meditation, as we make and recite the brachot together. So let me just share a screen with you.
You know you can pin both, huh? You want me to pin both?
Okay. Share a screen. Okay.
Ah, here it is.
Let me just make it a little bit bigger. Everyone see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of it down. You're going to have to bring it down a little bit. That's the first thing. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll start with the first beracha, number 1. Danny?
Yes.
Hazan?
Yes.
So
at the wheat.
The first and the second bracha, right?
That's right. The first and second bracha, because it's the same. It's the same bracha.
Yeah.
The barley and the crackers. So, my dear friends and congregants, we take this time. We can say a bracha, and the word bracha means blessing. And the rabbi and I had a very beautiful discussion in his office just today. Bracha means blessing, and you're blessing God for all of the sustenance, everything that he gives us. But most interestingly enough is, why does God need our bracha, our blessing? We need God's blessing. We don't have to bless him. The interesting part is the word also bracha comes from the word brecha, which is a pool of water. And the interesting part, it's a source of water. And the brecha, the word, is a source. And God is the source of all living things. And all of the sustenance that we have, we praise God. We say to God, this is our food, but it's all yours. But we're asking you, we're blessing you for thanking you for giving us the opportunity to take what the fruits of the earth and the trees have given us and able to sustain us. And we say, while I'm doing the blessing, I would like to all of you to think in meditation while I say the bracha, to think about the wheat and the barley, as the wheat is the intelligence and the material success, peru urvu, multiple success and material and intelligence, and also barley gives us shalom bayit, the peace in the home and the beauty of serenity. So as we take a little bit of barley, we say the bracha. You can take crackers and mezonot, anything that's mezonot, anything that, cookies, whatever you want, and you say the bracha together and think about intelligence, God giving you more intelligence, material success, and shalom bayit. We say, Baruch Ata Adonai, Elohenu melech ha'olam, boreh mineh mezonot.
Amen. Dis-leur de manger les salades qu'ils ont fait avec moi hier.
Eat the salads that you did with Muriel if you had yesterday. There's cookies.
Friends, Torah speaks about wheat. There's a whole idea of where the Torah says that a man is a tree of a field and fruits is the tree's highest achievement. And if we would have to compare that the 7 fruits are the crown of human botanical harvest. Today we celebrate the trees of God's world, but we also celebrate the tree within us by partaking of these 7 fruits. And in the Torah, it speaks about wheat is regarded as the mainstay of human diet, while barley is mentioned as a typical animal food. Thus, wheat represents the endeavor to nourish what is distinctly human in us. And that's why we find this idea of making the bracha, as the Hazan mentioned, that the chita is the intelligence and the material success, which is related to our human intelligence. And that's why it's the reason why we're been blessed with the idea of the chita and the seorah. Now we have a category of a few fruits that will be related with the same bracha. All of them representing something different, but their bracha would include, the borei peri ha'etz will include many of these species, including the olives, the dates, the grapes, the pomegranate, the figs, and so forth. So if the Hazan could sing a little bit, Danny. Sing us a little bit the bracha, Baruch Atah Hashem, with having in mind the different segulot that we have here of the date, the olives. So let's maybe take a date, Danny. Can you hear me? Or a grape, maybe. Where's Danny? I lost him.
I'm here.
Okay, so
I'm here.
Let's all take.
So Rabbi, I don't know if you heard me. I don't know if you heard me, but I said I don't have a date, but I have my wife.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
You see?
Or I'm on a date with my wife.
I'm on a date with my wife. That's
You're
it.
on a date with your wife.
And you are on a date with your wife.
That's right.
Okay, if you can bring it up a little bit more, I can see the other segulot that we have on the grapes and everything. Right here.
So you can take, guys, you can basically take anything that comes from the tree, whether it's a date, an olive, grapes. Yeah, grapes.
Grapes we can do hagifen, or we can do the borei peri hagifen on the wine.
If wine, well, no. If you
so
have
we
wine,
say the special. Yeah.
If you have wine, you could do the wine before. Whoever has wine.
Should we do the wine first?
Yes. Savre Maranan.
Okay. Oh, finding a soulmate, by the way, is part of the grapes. Let's call Shira and Michael here. So finding a soulmate, they have to taste from the wine.
Shira
Guys,
and Mikey, it's for the
come here. Soulmate. We have to get the ones that are not married. Anybody there that have family that need to be married? Let's go. Bring them forth.
My 7-year-old daughter just said, yes, I do.
Yeah? Here we are. Okay, so now that you have those who would like to get married, we say finding a soulmate, and also borei peri hagifen savri maran baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagifen lechaim.
Amen.
Baruch Hashem.
Lechaim.
Lechaim.
It's interesting that the grape is defining characteristic is joy. You know, as it says, it states, my wine which makes joyous God in man. The grape here represents the element of joy in our lives, the joy that unleashes our potential and adds depth, color, and intensity to everything we do. And that's really what I think in every celebration, the Torah gives such an importance to grapes and to wine. Any celebration, whether it's Shabbat or the holidays, whether it's a wedding, a Brit Milah, there's always wine for specifically that reason, where it represents the idea of joy and renewal and unleashing all of our potential. And that's why this idea of grape is found in the Seder. Maybe we should do now
the pomegranates. We skipped that, so we're going to go back to
we could do pomegranates.
Yes, and it's for right.
Yes,
Pomegranates are for having yes.
Go ahead.
Having righteous children, and also health, and to acquire patience. Wow,
that's a good one.
That's a good one. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Bore Peri Haetz. Wow.
Man.
It's good.
It's interesting, something about in the Torah where it speaks about olives, and olives, the Gemara regards it as oil, right? That, the real importance of olives is that we're able to extract oil from it, olive oil, and olive represents here the idea of struggle. The olive is, so what does that mean? That means that in us, the idea of olive is struggle, that the olive in us is part of ourselves that thrives on struggle, that revels in it. Just like an olive, which yields its oil only when pressed, so too do we yield what is best in us only when pressed between the milestones of our lives and the counter forces of a divided self. And this is really the idea, deep idea of the olive. What's very interesting characteristic to oil is that whatever substance you mix it with, it always surfaces to the top. So this is the idea of the struggles, that whatever we're going through in our lives, that we're always, when we struggle, always able to surface and go through our hardships and our struggles and always stay on top. And this is the idea here that is represented in the olive oil. So the next bracha we could do.
Rabbi, we have here, yes.
Adama.
Adama.
Yes, please. So Adama.
Yes. So we have
bananas.
We have the little bananas or little tomatoes, and
it's fruit of the ground.
There was one thing, Rabbi, that if you look over there, there's the pomegranate is to protect one's mouth from gossiping, and we just so happens to have a pomegranate too. So I'm just gonna have a taste of it. Reminds me of Rosh Hashanah. And then we can do our Borei Priya Adama. And the Borei Priya Adama, everything comes from the ground. Even if there was no Ha'adama, there would be no trees. So we have to bless the ground we walk on, literally. And we say the special bracha for Borei Priya Adama, Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu Melech Ha'olam, Borei Peri Ha'adama.
Amen.
Amen. It's interesting that here, that if you look on the screen, the date represents the segula of health. I also found in other other sources that it really, the idea of date represents our capacity for peace and tranquility and perfection, as we see in many sources. You know, we just mentioned the whole idea of struggle, and which is represented by the oil and the olive oil. While it's true that we're best when we're pressed, it is equally true that there are potentials in our soul that well forth when we have achieved a balance and harmony among the diverse components of our soul. We find that this whole idea of peace and tranquility and perfection is brought down in King David in the Tehillim, the psalmist that sings, Tzaddik, perfectly righteous person, shall bloom as the date palm. Tzaddik katamar ifrach, right? The idea of perfection, the idea of a righteousness. So I think we have one more bracha is not listed here, so I'm going to stop sharing the screen here. See all your beautiful faces. And so we have one bracha. Did we miss any brachot? Danny, we have She'akol Niya Bidvaro.
She'akol Niya Bidvaro. Yes, we do also have that.
I think you guys have marshmallows.
Yes.
You have marshmallows in your box, or chocolate. You can make on chocolate. You can make on a drink. You can make it on anything that doesn't grow from.
You can have s'mores. S'mores, everybody.
Yeah,
s'mores. Yeah.
Danny,
this is so beautiful. Yes.
I can't see you.
You know, Tzadika tamari farach ke'erez balevanon yizke shetulim bevet Hashem behachasrot Eloheinu yafriu od yenuvun besewayim. Now we take our marshmallow and say Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Shehakol Nihye Bidvaro. Amen. Very good.
Okay, great. That was the brachot. I would like to share with you here a beautiful song that was a poem written by Mr. Lapidut, and it was sang later on by Avram Fried. Let me just share the screen with you. We'll hear the song with a video, but before that, let's just translate the words. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. Let me just pull it out here.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Oh, going a little bit. Okay. Second, share screen.
Yeah, here it is. Beautiful. We're going to read the English first, and the
video we'll be able to hear. Yes, I am age old.
Is that the first line? Yes.
Yes,
the first line.
Go right ahead, Danny.
A beautiful song, and it starts like this. This is what its meaning is. I am an age-old tree, fulfilled in years. I have withstood strong winds and thunderstorms. You are a small, fragile leaf, a self-confident know-it-all. Take with you my life experiences. Don't disregard them. These may be all I have to offer. There are beautiful days with everything blooming, and there will be difficult times with everything dooming. Hold strong, little leaf of mine. It is not always clear outside. Gale winds and tempest storms happen. Remember and be strong. I am with you. Hold strong, my little leaf. Everything is not always the way it should be. Everything clear and understood. Life is not an exercise in school. Life must include honorable choices. At this time, little leaf, everything is calm. Though from afar a dark cloud may arrive, take with you my blessings. Always remember, the glass is half full. And when the sun goes down over the sea, worry not. Tomorrow it will shine brightly once again. Hold on, my little leaf.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Let's hear the song now.
Yes. Very nice.
Second. Share the screen. No, why did I do that? I'm sorry. 1 second. Screen. Share.
Yeah, there you go.
מאוד זקן ושבע ימים ראיתי כבר רוחות עזות ורעמים אתה עלה קטן מתנועע בטוח בעצמו הכל יודע איתך צידה לדרך את ניסיוני אל תזלזל אולי זה כל מה שיש לי כי יש ימים יפים הכל פורח ויש שעות קשות הכל בורח תחזיק חזק עלה קטן שלי כי לא תמיד הכל בחוץ בהיר ברוח סער וסופה קרה תזכור ותתחזק אני איתך תחזיק חזק עלה קטן שלי ולא תמיד הכל נכון הכל מובן חיים זה לא שיעור חשבון זה גם מבחן עכשיו עלה קטן הכל רגוע אך מרחוק אולי ענן מגיע קח איתך צידה לדרך את ברכתי חצי הכוס היא מלאה תזכור תמיד וכשהשמש אל הים שוקעת אל תדאג מחר היא שוב זורחת תחזיק חזק עלה קטן שלי כי לא תמיד הכל בחוץ בהיר ברוח סער וסופה קרה תזכור ותתחזק אני איתך תחזיק חזק עלה קטן שלי תחזיק חזק עלה קטן שלי כן לא תמיד הכל בחוץ בהיר ברוח סער וסופה קרה תזכור ותתחזק אני איתך אני איתך תחזיק חזק עלה קטן שלי כן לא תמיד הכל בחוץ בהיר ברוח סער וסופה קרה תזכור תתחזק אני איתך תחזיק חזק עלה קטן שלי
Zach. Beautiful.
Baruch.
Beautiful.
So continue with our program now. We're going to see how smart all of us are. We'll ask you some questions on Shevat, and you could answer and give in your answers on the chat. Gali is going to share with us some questions, and then Danny and myself, and we'll see who gets a marshmallow at the end.
Rabbi, wait a second. We changed the marshmallow to a free membership at the Spanish and Portuguese.
I don't know. You're going to have to ask the executive. There's members of the executive here. You see what you did to David? Look at his reaction. Free.
He doesn't, he's pale. What's the matter?
Free membership. No, he didn't like that.
Okay, come on. It's a honorary membership. Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's get with the quiz. Let me look up the quiz. Where's
what about one? Just give me the money.
Let me get the quiz. Where's the All right.
How about Gladys? Okay, so we're going to do that at the end, Gladys. Ashkedia Porachat.
How do we do it? Here? Present. All right. Okay.
So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you have the questions, let's see who's fast on the draw and write it down. Because if we start unmuting, it's going to be balagan. I know that. Come on, guys. Okay.
Yes, I'm almost there.
Rabbi, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen.
Anybody want to eat something? Come over.
Again. Share. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, can everybody see it?
Yeah.
Everybody could see it. Danny, can you unmute Gali?
Sure can. Let me see if I can find her here. Hold on one second. I'm going to ask her to unmute. Hold on one second. Gali. Here you go. Ask to unmute. Go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to start. We have 10 questions about Tu B'Shvat. And everyone, we're going to see the question. Everyone can answer in the chat. We're going to have a few answers to choose. So let's start. As you see, we have the first question. When is Tu B'Shvat? You can start answering the question on the chat.
Oh boy, Gali, I got a few of them now already.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so let's see.
So Gali, we have Raymond, Benaim, to everyone, the 15th day of Shevat. Marion and Dani, 15th of Shevat. Grace Perez had a very interesting one, and it's a smart one. Today.
Okay, so basically the question is
and
when is
Ger
the
said
Hebrew
tonight.
day?
But he's getting closer tonight.
Okay, so the answer is the 15th of Shvat. Great.
Okay, but wait, David Nathaniel had a very interesting one, halfway between winter and summer.
David, you were listening. That was great.
Halfway between winter
Great
and summer.
answer. All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, Rabbi, you're on mute. You're on mute. Oh. Unmute yourself.
Am I on mute?
Here, I'm gonna ask you to unmute. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. That was great.
That was a good answer.
Great answers. Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Okay. What is no? Go back. What is celebrated on the 15th of Shevat? So.
What is celebrated on the? Okay.
Just click.
Okay, Marion said Tu B'Shvat, yeah, but what is celebrated on the 15th?
So we have 4 options. Number 1, it is the day when Jewish merchants would traditionally purchase sap in bark, signaling a successful new year. 2, it was created in the 18th century by Jewish mystics who wanted a vegan alternative to Rosh Hashanah, which includes animal sacrifice. 3, in ancient Israel, it was the day when the last of the trees would be felled to be burnt on the temple altar. And number 4, it is the day when baths are considered to be of the new year.
You don't see the last part?
For the purpose of.
So I've got a few people who got the.
What's the answer?
I got D4 and from Raymond, then I got Marion and Danny 4. And I think we have a winner for a free honorary membership.
So the answer is, it is the day when you are considered to be the new year.
That's right.
Let's go to the next question. On the 15th of Shevat, the winter's rainfall for that year has finished in Israel. Sap begins running in the roots of trees in Israel. The winter season, according to the lunisolar calendar, is halfway done. All of the above. What do you have, Danny?
Grace Perez says number 3. Marion and Danny says number 4. Albert Herskovich says number 4. Ronald Gare says number 4. David Nathaniel says number 2. And Devorah Leah says number B, which is 2. Who is the winner, Rabbi?
All of the above. The answer is number 4.
Number 4. David Nathaniel.
All right.
Second, he's number 2 there. Oh, Sandra Kuku says number 4. Okay.
Great.
Sandra Kuku.
Next question.
Because she got the right question, she can sit on the education committee.
All right. On the 15th of Shevat, it is traditional to eat the 7 fruits with which Israel is blessed. They are?
This is very dangerous.
Number 1, spelt, wheat, pomegranate, avocado, dates, honey, fig, olive. 2, wheat, barley, pomegranate, grape, apple, fig, olive. 3, wheat, barley, grape, fig, pomegranate, olive, date. 4. I can't see number 4. Excuse me. Milk, date, honey, wheat, pomegranate, grape. Oh, we have so many answers. Woo.
Oh no, that's all over the place here.
Okay, so let's see the answer. Let's see the answer, and then we'll see who got it right. The answer is number 3.
While Jose Layani had it right, David Nathaniel loves avocados, so he picked number 1. So
we have a few good answers.
I don't know. He wrote number 1, so I guess he likes avocados. Sandra Kuku said number 3. Marion and Danny said number 3. Well, we got some quick. Albert Herskovich said number 2, which is he loves apples and pomegranates.
Okay, great. Next question. Are we ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
On the 15th of Shevat, extra supplications are added to the prayers, similar to those on Rosh Hashanah. Customary prayers are not recited. Number 3, work may not be performed except for those tasks necessary for food preparation. 4, pious Jews visit fields and climb trees while holding bows and arrows.
That's a tough one.
Let's see them coming in.
Well, I got some hesitations here, I say.
3, 2, and 1. The answer is number 2. Tachanunim prayers are not recited. Who do we have, Danny?
Well, I have to tell you that we got a good one here. Albert Herskovich got number 2.
Marion got number 2. Grace Perez got number 2. Jose.
And yes. And so because it's number 2 and we don't do tachanun, everybody's invited to come to the synagogue tomorrow morning because we don't have to do tachanun, but we only need 10. So the first 10, who's the lucky one? Rabbi, we have no answer. David Nathaniel chose each one.
All right. Great stuff, guys. That was a good one. Next question. Let me just move. On the 15th of Shevat, it is customary to eat.
I know.
Fried foods, carob, fish, meat, apples, and honey. Nothing at all. It's a fast day.
It's not that fast. Whoa, look at that. Jose Layani, Sandra Kuku, David Nathaniel, Albert Herskovich, and everybody before that, I can't even see, it goes by too fast. Everybody got number 2.
All right, the answer is...
Wait. Your daughter... Hold on a second, Rabbi. Hold on. Your daughter, Laura Leah, said number 1, fried foods.
Is that what she wants?
I think she wants fried food. Can you please give her some fried foods?
She had some already.
Oh, okay.
So we have a lot of good answers. Oh, Ashkenazim eat karov. Okay.
Oh, wait. Sandra is asking a question. Ashkenazi Arab?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. We have to ask Rabbi Ronald, Professor Gare.
I think Sephardim also do.
Yeah, of course, but because it lasts long on the trip from east to west. Oh, very good.
Right. Okay,
Where is the
question.
Oh, we have Karen.
What
According to Rosh Soloveitchik, you're right. Wow, he's sure. Almonds, Ronald Gare says.
According to Bet Shammai, oh, that's a good one. According to Bet Shammai, the new year for the trees is actually on.
Oh, I know. No.
A, the 1st of Shevat. B, 23rd of Shevat. C, 15th Shevat. There's no disagreement. And D, the 30th of Shevat.
Gray says B. Raymond Benaim says A. Jose Layani says A. Devorah Leah says B. Ronald Gare says number 3, which is C. Marion and Danny says C also. Sean Freed says A. Mendy says C. What are we doing here?
David Nathaniel.
Okay.
And David Nathaniel, C, 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 C. You're missing a category there, David. Hi, David.
Danny, I think he's just asking you for your credit card, CC. Okay, the
I think so. You want to know my date of expiry? I can tell you that. Okay.
All right. The
What is
answer
it?
is
Hilarious?
A. Whoever got the answer is A.
Oh, come on.
Next question. We only have, how many more questions do we got here? Okay.
42.
The Tu B'Shvat is mentioned in the Torah.
Yes. No.
Is
Maybe.
it true or false?
Ronald Gare, B. False. Raymond, too fast. Everybody says it's B. It's false. No, I don't know about that.
Let's wait.
No.
Oh, David Nathaniel says A.
David Nathaniel, of course, says differently. He has to be different.
He says
If you answer,
He says it's true.
listen to the beginning of the Dvar Torah, you for sure know this answer. So the answer is, where's the answer?
Tu B'Shvat is not mentioned.
Oh, there we go. Tu B'Shvat is not mentioned in the Torah. It is first mentioned in the Mishnah as one of the 4 new years. Great.
Everybody was wrong except David.
No, everybody was.
Okay. The organization in Israel, which is associated with Tu B'Shvat, is, I don't even know the answer to this. Ooh.
Oh, I know.
I know.
Oh, yes.
Wait,
Okay,
let's
now
wait.
I know.
Yeah, he got it.
You know.
Ronald Gare got it. J and F. Devorah Leah,
The
J
Jewish
and F.
National Fund.
Raymond Benaim, KKLI. Is that a flight? Is that somebody's flight? What is it?
The Jewish-
KKL. Karen Kayemet LeIsrael.
Israel Bonds, Israel Defense Force.
No,
No. JNF.
Jewish National Fund.
Are you
Of
sure?
Karen Kayemet LeIsrael. I know I was on the
The
board.
answer is the Jewish National Fund.
Yeah.
Hey,
They
great. I
plant-
think everybody got that one right.
They plant trees.
In schools, we plant.
Okay.
David, what answer do you give?
All right.
I want to hear David's answers.
The first Tu B'Shvat Seder took place in
De Courtrai.
the Courtrai. Why is the Courtrai
Okay,
here,
start
by the way?
answering now.
New York City. B.
No, number 4. Gray
C.
says it's
Tel
Sfat.
Aviv.
Marion and Danny say Sfat. Hold on a second. Albert Erskimish says Svat.
It's very important.
And David says?
You have to.
The answer is
Zimbabwe. What's the answer? You're on mute.
Sfat.
Yeah, it's
Right.
Svat. It's Svat.
Great.
But a lot of people answered.
Yes, a lot of
A
people.
lot of people got this one right.
Oh, David Nathaniel got it right too.
Danny,
What? What?
Danny,
Yeah.
you got it wrong. You said portrait.
She said the country.
Okay.
Everybody's invited to our house after.
So who's the
Yeah,
winner?
after he read it. After he read it. Grace Lowey's again. He's trying to get you there, David. Okay, go ahead.
All right, great. That was the last question.
No. Come on.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it?
whatever.
Yeah, I have a bonus question. Let me
Oh,
just
okay.
stop sharing this. Let me just stop sharing the screen. Where's the stop sharing? Okay, great. How many times do we find the idea of trees? How many trees are mentioned in the Torah? One of them is in this week's parasha, in Parashat Beshalach. Right, Danny? We spoke a little about this.
Oh, okay.
Yes. How many times that the idea,
I'm telling you.
we find it in the Torah so many times in this week's parasha, but the first tree, we all know, the tree of knowledge, and then
7.
tree of life.
Sandra Kudu says 7. Grace Perez says 8.
Oh, close.
Hold on. Anybody else want to guess? Everyone. David Nathaniel's very close to 9. Wow. Marion and Danny's is 9. Or 613. Deborah Leah got it right.
613.
Yes, Oren.
I got it right. It's 10.
10.
Great. Yeah. How did you know that?
Ivan.
I'll list you all of them. Let me share that screen with you. It's very interesting.
Oh, David Nathaniel says 10 now.
All right, let me share that for a second. All the trees that are mentioned in the Torah are 10 times, just like the minyan.
I'm sorry, Rabbi. I have to stop you.
Yeah.
Oren made a mistake.
What's
He
the
wrote
mistake?
10, but it
No, he
came
wrote
out
613, but
it came
meant
out. It came out 613, but he wrote
meant
10. Just want to let you know.
Okay, so look at this. We have the tree of knowledge, the tree of life. That far we know. Then we have the post-flood olive tree, right? Everybody remembers
Yes.
one? The tree under which Abraham served the angels or the visitors that came to see him. They were sitting under the shade. The fifth one, the tree under which Jacob buried Shechem's treasure. Alon Bachut, the burning bush of Moses.
Oh, that's a tree.
The sweetened Mara, as we see in this week's parasha, right, Danny? When they were
Yes, absolutely.
looking
Yes,
for
when
water.
they threw the stick into the.
Right, and then the 70 palms, and finally, number 10, Jacob's cedars.
Beautiful.
Hey, that does it
Beautiful.
for our quiz.
Wow.
Beautiful. We'll ask now the cantor to conclude
Yes.
with a beautiful song. We want to thank everyone for being here with us. It was a lot of fun. I hope you had an inspiring time and fulfilling time, entertaining. We had fun to see all of you here.
Absolutely.